Hey guys, this is Market Update. In this video, FTX selling all of their crypto. Everything must go. They're selling all of this for dollars to give those dollars back to creditors. So in this video, we're going to look at how this may affect markets. We've already seen a massive impact, right? Very weak price action this week for Bitcoin, ETH. All altcoins are pretty much down. Is this going to have a major impact over the long term, or is it actually not as major as people think? The FUD itself, as usual, may actually be worse than the actual event. So we're going to look at how this selling is going to affect things. So firstly, coming to BTC, you can see we're trying to hold this 25K support right here. This is major support. However, later in this video, we'll see that actually the major lower bound may be around 20K. So have that in your mind, right? 20K around this price here. That is some on-chain data showing that that is actually a much lower, very strong price support. But for right now, this weakness is going to carry on because FTX selling, this FUD, there's a seller in the market. When there's a seller in the market, why would anyone push the price up? If you know there's a seller and you're looking to buy and they're a forced seller, then maybe they should actually take down on the price and you get a better price. So it's short term, not great for the price, but if you're a buyer, maybe a forced seller is actually pretty good for you. 25K may or may not hold. It looks like we're just going a little bit lower this month, and so maybe we get a few scares down here and a few wicks is entirely possible. But once this crypto is cleared, where's the selling pressure? Maybe later on in the year, the US government is trying to sell some BTC from the Silk Road, so more selling pressure there. But there will always be sellers and there will always be buyers at some point, and they meet equilibrium at some point. Again, I'm not too worried about this. Like I said, 20K is probably a lower target. If we get a massive FUD storm or something happens in the economy or the bank goes bust, that would be the lower target. But for me, we're just going to remain weak until something changes, which I'll get onto later in this video, which is really important. I would watch for that if I were you. If you're a trader though, you can trade this event. Check out Bybit, link in the description. They give you a deposit and trading bonus. Check the link below for the details. This is a great breakdown of FTX's assets that are getting sold off from Messari right here. So let's go through this. The first one is, this looks atrocious from Solana, right? However, it's not as bad as it seems right now. Now, this is going to be selling pressure. The FTX estate are probably going to sell this off. But let's have a look at this. Solana, you can see $720 million, but 81% of the trading volume, the weekly trading volume. The weekly trading volume is the thing to look at, not the dollar amount, because the dollar amounts are irrelevant. What you're looking at is how much of weekly trading volume is to be sold. If a very, very small amount is to be sold, it's not going to have a major impact on the price, apart from maybe the FUD storm coming around it. Bitcoin, 1% of weekly trading volume is around $350 million. Once that's cleared, it's literally over. 1% of weekly trading volume is totally irrelevant. Same for Ethereum. Now, Solana and Aptos, you can see these are huge amounts in comparison to what they trade weekly. That's not good news if it was to be all sold off at once. However, on the right-hand side, you can see here, the relevant figure is the weekly trading volume. And while Sol and Aptos have sizable USD figures in relation to that trading volume, these assets are held on the Alameda and Venture side of the house and are largely comprised of vesting tokens that are not immediately liquid in open markets. This means that those vesting tokens, they were given dollars by FTX and Alameda as investments. The tokens were given to FTX and Alameda. Bit like an equity, right, where you just invest money for some equity of that project, but they are vesting, meaning that there are lockups, right? There are many lockups for years to come, and so they can't actually sell them within the contracts, right? Because they're contracted not to sell until a certain date. So whilst this is a lot of dollars to sell, it won't all be coming this month, right? So there's just going to be a lot of FUD around this to begin with, and then as the market just forgets about this, the buyers and sellers are going to meet some equilibrium again, and they can't sell this until those vesting contracts actually, come to date and they can actually start selling. So not great for Solana and Aptos, but to be honest, in the big scheme of things, there are many other sellers of these tokens as well that have big amounts, and that just, over time, it's not going to make a big difference. But the FUD around this is the big difference. Then you have Doge. This is just can be sold off, so that's going to be a hit for Doge. Tron is a massive amount in terms of weekly trading volume. But then if you look at the actual dollar amount, $30 million, it's not a lot of money. Now, Justin Sun from Tron has made some tweets saying that he wants to just clear all of this OTC, over the counter, meaning he'll just buy the whole lot in one go and then clear that. So, and Matic's not great, to be honest, because there's probably no OTC buyers for that. So not great for the time being. BNB coin under 1%, $4 million, literally totally irrelevant. So this is more about the FUD storm, and any selling in this type of market is just going to force the price lower because, you know, buyers don't have a lot of cash. There's not a lot of liquidity in here. And hey, this is a buyer's market, meaning if you want to buy, you can get lower prices. And so, yeah, I think this is a FUD storm, absolutely perfect in a bear market to create a scare. The reality is probably not as harsh as it looks on the surface. If you are trading Bitcoin right now and you're looking at some price levels to go off, I've been saying this for a while, 30K is a resistance and then 20K is a support. We're right in the middle of it, right at 25K. The reason I say that is you can see here the distribution of holders, so short and long-term holders, but we're really, really tight around this level. So 30,000 you can see here. It's a massive resistance because you've got a lot of short-term holders that are in a loss. As the price comes up to 30K, they'll probably be selling some to break even. And obviously as it comes down past there, you get a bit of capitulation because people maybe are stuck at those levels at 30, at 29. As it comes down to 28, 27, 26, they start capitulating because they are short-term traders making a loss. And so they're just coming out of the market and they're capitulating at that level. I also want to highlight this data as well, which is Bitcoin's logarithmic regressions. Now, this is the rainbow chart. I'm sure you've seen it. This is a complete meme at this point, the rainbow chart, because it always gets broken. But it's actually not being broken. It's actually showing us data that's very important. So I just want to explain this very quickly, because if you're looking to invest right now through the Bitcoin halving and as macro changes, this period is the usual period before the bull market, right? So obviously we don't know when it's going to come. We don't know what it's going to look like, but it usually does occur after the Bitcoin halving at some point in the years after that. So what's this actually showing us? It's showing us that Bitcoin's exponential growth is getting crushed over time, which is totally normal. It takes a lot more dollars to move the price of BTC than it did before. So I just want to highlight how Bitcoin's exponential growth is slowing. I think it's important for some sort of prediction of where we may go in the future. You can see here during 2011, the price got to $25, only $25, but the exponential growth was extreme. You can see that the price actually broke out of this upper bound. Now, if we were to continue on that growth trajectory, you can see the price would be at this point around $3 million per BTC. So that's impossible, obviously. So what we're looking at is a massive crush of the exponential growth of BTC. It's not bad. It's very, very normal. So what we can do is actually use this for some sort of prediction of, where we may go in terms of another impulse upwards when it may come, maybe 12, 18 months, 2 years. So we can see the exponential growth here is higher than the red band. The next impulse only just got into the red band, but it was red and orange. The next impulse is yellow and orange. And then the next impulse is this green. So what we're looking at is we should have in mind that the exponential growth is getting crushed, the percentage gains are getting crushed, and that each time we have a drawdown, we actually go into a lower growth bound as well. You can see the drawdown here put us into the green, and then the light blue, and then lower in the light blue, and now we're in purple. So we should actually expect that as Bitcoin grows further, it comes lower down during drawdowns in terms of the logarithmic regression trends. And with the blow off tops or the bull markets, we could also expect that to be lower as well. So we're looking at light green here. We could be potentially looking at green or purple for the next bull market. If you're a trader though and you want to take advantage of this short-term price action, check out Bybit 30K deposit bonus, link in the description for that. If you want to see my investment strategy for the next Bitcoin halving in the next few years, I made some updates for the Crypto Investor course. All updates are free for the Crypto Investor course. I'll link it in the description. You can see all of the videos there and all of the updates. I'm James, it's MoneyZG. Cheers for watching and I'll see you in the next one.